Forspoken is a 2023 action role-playing game developed by Luminous Productions. Think Unknown 9 Awakening, except instead of a game with magical wristbands, rock bending, and a female lead based on a 28-year-old actress, you play a game with magical wristbands, rock bending, and a female lead based on a 28-year-old actress. The fact that this joke keeps working says a lot about the industry, doesn't it? I played Forspoken because I had just finished a number of really good games and figured, let's try something different. Seriously though, as usual, I came into this open-mindedly. So open-mindedly that if I wasn't wearing my JBL's True Story, my brain would have fallen out. Honestly, I was, at first, no more interested in this game than marathoning The View in a walk-in freezer. But I was at Walmart, and Forspoken was cheaper than eggs, so...
Why are you the way that you are?
We lay our scene on the PS5 dashboard. There, one can simply hover over the game icon and learn what happens when the composer for the 10 Commandments develops an unhealthy obsession with trap music. I just can't fathom why games featuring a black protagonist feel the need to also melanate the soundtrack. This is the biggest giveaway that the developers are profoundly pigment deficient. That said, the song is fire. This track also plays on Forspoken's main menu, except with vocals, which are quite overtly ethnic. Again, very patronizing, but also, the song is magma. Let's be real, that's a baddie. And that's a Temu doll.
He ain't lying.
At least Luminous didn't go out of their way to make Frey look like John Witherspoon, so kudos to them. I guess that's my awkward segue into a graphical overview. Character models are great in regards to the detailed costume design, but sub-great in regards to the models themselves. Auden, for example, looked quite mannequin and wasn't very expressive outside of cutscenes. Her face was more dead than Plank at an Amy Schumer special. The hair physics are quite nice, but when lit, Frey's hair often appeared gray instead of black. Architecture and level design are pretty good. Environments have a nice sense of scale and are well rendered. The opening area is busy and lived in. The only thing that helped me differentiate it from actual New York was that the game's rendition was way too clean. Sorry, New York. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of interacting with the environments, at least not at the beginning. I don't know why, but it is distractingly odd encountering an abundance of doors that offer no prompt to be opened. This happens in a lot of games, but it just feels weird in an RPG. Cuff looks nice, but that's where my affinity for that thing ends. I guess they thought making it speak with a British accent would make it more tolerable? If so, they were wronger than Utz filling half the honey barbecue chip bags with air. You were so wrong, Utz. Collectible resources flash from a forgiving proximity, which makes them easy to spot. This favors expeditious traversal, which you are likely to do a lot of, and ensures you that you won't miss anything valuable. The icon tracking the current objective, when behind the player, resembles the icon for items pending pickup, which makes you think there's an item behind you. That is a bit confusing. Last note on visuals, the game briefly invites us into Frey's home. I just want to say to the devs, you thought we wouldn't notice Asmongold's attic, but we did. Guess we kind of touched on sound, so let's just touch it all the way. That was moderately suggestive. If it makes you feel better, earlier, I had considered abbreviating Luminous Productions as Luminous P. That's mad suggestive, and fortunately for us all, I decided not to say it. Luminous P, that is. Wait.
I'm kind of retarded.
The voice acting is actually pretty good. What I don't like is when the game occasionally limits traversal, seemingly to force me to focus on scripted dialogue from a sentient bracelet. I can listen and walk simultaneously. Who do they think I am? Joe Biden? Speaking of Cuff, it is bonded with Frey, instantly knows her name, but doesn't know what a cell phone is? Okay, game. Anyway, the soundtrack is pretty good. It sets the tone perfectly per scene and setting. There are moments when there's no music at all, and you just hear nature breathing. Those moments of musical vacancy work well too. The archive provides the player with background on characters. It's wise to flesh them out, but it's better to show these relationships or personality traits rather than tell them. The archive does, however, let you access tutorials and statistics, which is beneficial in the event that you miss some information or require a refresher. Let's talk about gameplay. The parkour is good. Probably the best part of the game outside of that awesome Prejudice soundtrack. If you run toward an object, Frey will automatically vault over. This is good. But other times, she can't clear jumps that appear clearable. Wow, no red squiggly. Clearable is actually a word. I would also sometimes hit an invisible wall trying to jump over a low barrier. Early on, the game explains how stamina is used to perform certain attacks, but did not previously point out where stamina is on the UI or how it is measured. I wasn't even sure I had stamina until I needed to look for it. Cuff scan is much appreciated. After playing Hogwarts Legacy, this is something I've come to bougily require. This prevents excessive backtracking, cause that's for women. I just got myself canceled, didn't I? Wait, I can edit that out. Yeah, I'll take that out. The follow-up sentence will instead be, the game, at least in this regard, is respecting the player's time. Yeah, that's better. So, just to wrap things up, the music is good, though stereotypical. The art design is good, though outside of cutscenes, character models are deader than a dinosaur exhibit. Environments look nice, but are ultimately visual props. Except props you can interact with, and these environments are more standoffish than your X on a day that ends in Y. A certain visual cue makes it easy to spot nearby collectibles, but also makes you think the mission marker is a nearby collectible. Frey's room looks like if Asmongold's room had a fever. Get it? Cause her room was on fire. Also, if I mention Asmon enough, I can justify using his name in the tags and maybe garner more views. Voice acting is good, but apparently voice cannot be paired with acting or action because I have to stand still to listen to Cuff, which inherently makes him annoying, but also he speaks with a British accent which may make him more annoying. Sorry, Britain. The parkour is great, but sometimes Frey can't clear a crack in a sidewalk. The orphan status and presence of the Alice in Wonderland book are more on the nose than a face. It's like the game forgot it was for an adult audience. Forspoken grows boring fairly fast. Faster than you spend your tax refund on a TV that's only 5 inches bigger than the one you already own. Could I have seen Forspoken through to the end? Sure, but I don't hate myself as much as a Pokemon fan. I played Forspoken for roughly 3.5 hours, but what I experienced so far felt around a 6.75 out of 10. The moral of the story? If the game features enchanted bracelets, steer clear.